Good morning, class, or whatever time of the day you are watching my video. My name is Mr. Miller, and I am going to be your e-learning teacher from uh, February until June in grade 12 International and Canadian Law. A reminder, this is a semestered course, like I said. It is not quadmestered, so you are with me for the entirety of semester 2, February to June. I always like to, again, make sure students are aware of the best way to get in contact with me, which is always via email, which is robert_miller@wrdsb.ca. My home school is KCI, but I know many of you, most of you, are not KCI students. You are students of the Waterloo Region District School Board or our separate Catholic board in Waterloo, or students from across Ontario. It doesn't matter. We're all going to be learning the same subject matter and the same curriculum. I'd like to briefly talk about just my perspectives on grade 12 law and how I approach it. We like to take a broader view of the law than many of you may have been introduced to if you took grade 11 law. And don't worry if you didn't take grade 11 law. It is not a prerequisite for this course. But we take a broader view in the sense we take a more global perspective. In grade 11 law, you focus specifically and entirely on Canadian law. This is Canadian and international law. So we like to do a lot of contrasting between our legal system and the legal systems around the world. And we also like to focus, and I always encourage my students to think about the law from more than just their own perspective, thinking about the kind of way someone with a vastly different background would approach the law as well in their perspective. There's an emphasis on higher order thinking, analyzing legal issues, arguing them, but not just memorizing basic definitions. And there is also an emphasis on informed emphasis, and I'm emphasizing it right now, informed discussion and debate, making sure when we are debating our classmates, we are always doing it from an informed point of view, knowing all the facts and being educated on the subject matter, not just arguing for the sake of arguing. Again, I'll give you a little walk around in our website in a second, but often when students want to get working, they want to find their work, and on our website, all of your work will be located under the content section, and I'll show you where that is in a second. And you are going to be submitting all of your work through assignment drop boxes. And one of the things, again, two of the things I always like my students to do right away is to link their Google Drive immediately. Again, usually when you log into, again, my course or even into our VLE, at the bottom of the VLE or the bottom of our course, I'm sorry I can't demonstrate it right now because I've already done it, but you'll need to, again, find this either right when you log into D2L or right when you log into my website. You will have to link your Google Drive, find this box on the website, and click this link your Google Drive account link. It just helps you submit your work. So once you create something in Google Docs, for example, it's not a pain in the butt to find it and hand it in to me. Again, kind of an aside, I always encourage my students to work exclusively in some type of cloud-based application for their work, either Google Docs or online Office. A lot of students, first of all, again, have MacBooks, and I don't. So please do not hand in work in Pages or in Keynote. I don't have the ability to open those. So please always put your work into a format I can open. And cloud-based is always better, I say, because Google Docs, for example, saves your work every time you make any type of change. So there's no chance losing it. So please be working exclusively in Google Docs or online Office. How to do well in e-learning. Work every day. I know many of you guys have vastly different quadmesters, and your spare may not be right now. You may have a very heavy quadmester, and you may have a plan of doing most of the work for my course maybe later on in the semester. Please don't forget about my course. And please be aware I have 2 mandatory reporting periods. The first one is in April, for example, and this is the midterm report. Where again, I calculate and submit your marks, I do a comment, and I provide learning skills. And if you have done no work to this point, I have nothing to report. It's an automatic 35. So don't just forget about my course until you have your spare. That is not going to lead anywhere good. Am I going to force you to, again, focus on my course as much as you would on a quadmester course? No. But please do a little bit of my work so I have something to report on by the time we get to midterm reports. So again, I'm not going to feel too bad or penalize you if you are behind because you're focusing, maybe you have a heavy, again, 4U chemistry, 4U calculus quadmester. I'm not going to penalize you for not putting all of your focus and energy on my course, but I would like you to work on it at least a little. So you are not playing complete catch up later on in the course. Try and keep a consistent schedule. Generally, I always say, like in a typical semester, pick the same point of the day and try and do 60 minutes of my class every day, or 75 minutes, depending. So try and keep a consistent schedule so you're not doing it in bits and spurts. It's often people don't do their best work when they try and finish things right at the deadline. Ask questions. It's a difficulty in a lot of settings, and especially in an e-learning setting, for a teacher to know when things are going poorly because you're not right in front of me. I can usually see frazzled faces and consternation and issues when it's right in front of me. But when students are having issues and they don't tell me, I don't know if anything is going wrong. So if you have a question about an assignment, you want a clarification, you want feedback, again, I gave you my email on the first slide. It's in the first day post as well. Please make sure you're asking questions. Please participate in the discussions. Again, I'll show you where the discussions are later on, but please make sure they are excellent ways of really digging into issues, learning from your classmates, and I use a lot of the discussions as basis for later assignments. So you may get a great idea from your peers, and as long as you put that into your own words and make it your own, you can make use of it in your assignment. This is a big one. Always log in. You need to be logging in at least once a week. Even if you're not submitting anything that week, please make sure you are logging in because you will be marked absent. And if you don't log in for a long time, you can get kicked out of the course. Just be aware of that. So please be logging in at least once a week. Again, better, more so. Again, sorry, this is getting cut off. I will have office hours, Google Meet office hours when I am back at school. Right now I'm working from home because we're still in lockdown here. So as soon as I'm back at school if something like doesn't change and we're forced to stay at home longer, I will set up regular Google Meet office hours. Again, subject to change because I do have a course I need to teach, an actual in-person course I need to teach later in the last half of the semester. So I will post those to the news feed in case you want to actually talk to me via Google Meet whenever that becomes an option. But I will post that information to to our classroom. Okay, I want to quickly look at our website. So again, you found this video, so you made it here. So I just want to make sure you are focusing on the key things. I try and put everything you're going to want to need in the toolbar. Okay, where do you find your work? In the content. So our first unit is Legal Inquiry and Fundamentals. And I will be posting work week by week. I'm still building the course. I've taught grade 12 law many times, but this is the first time I have taught it in this virtual setup. in e-learning, so I still need to completely build the course. So I will be posting it week by week. So right now, again, only thing it's going to be here is the week of February 1st, even though February 4th is the first day of the class. So everything you will need to complete, everything you will need to look at will be in this page. I like to make sure like my students know exactly where to find all of their work, and it is right here. It'll be in that week's learning agenda, I call it. So again, there are some links you need to click on, a Google form you need to fill out, 2 videos, again, / notes you need to complete, and then a discussion post. So that is what you need to complete for this week. Okay, course home takes you back to the home page. Okay, discussions. This is where you can find your discussions. I'll also provide links to them in the learning agendas. Again, assignments. This is where you hand in your assignments. And again, grades. I have it set up, my markbook set up, so you can click on grades here and give yourself an idea of how you're doing in my class. So as soon as something is marked by me, it'll be updated in my gradebook, and you can see your own personal gradebook right here. Okay, otherwise that is it, guys. If you have any questions, again, email me. I'll show you my email again. It is right here, Robert_Miller at wrdsb.ca. Have a good day, guys.